Good afternoon, America. How are you? I hope that you're well today. What we want to talk about today, I want to talk about how they keep building their tower, and that'll be the Tower of Babylonian. Um, we're gonna go to Genesis. Let's go to the book of Genesis, and we're gonna start at chapter 9, and we're gonna start at verse 20. And it talk about how Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine and was drunk, and he was uncovered in his tent. Okay. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers without. And Shem and Jehoshaphat took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces was backwards, and they saw not their father nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cush the Canaan, a servant of servants, shall be unto his brother. Okay. And Shem was blessed. Okay, so now we're going to jump over here to, let's go to Ham's sons. Okay. Ham got Cush, and then in verse 10, chapter 10 and 6, and then if you look down in 8, Cush begot Nimrod. Okay. And Nimrod was a mighty man in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord, and the beginning of his tower was Babel. Okay, and if you look in verse chapter 11, and you look down here at chapter 11, let's go from the beginning. And the whole earth, this Genesis chapter 11, and the whole earth was of one language and one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar. And they dwelt there. And they said one to another, let us build us a tower. And they said one to another, go to, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly. And they had bricks for stones, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto the heavens, and let us make us a name. Let us be, unless we be scattered abroad upon this face of this whole earth. Okay, now y'all know the story. But what I want to talk about is how the city and the tower that they started back then are still going on. And what it is slavery, is bondage. Because the reason I say that is because it's all about government today. It's all about government. A lot of people's worried about who's going to be the president today, because who we got up there. That I don't hear none of them talking about God, and God has to be first in everything that you do. If not, it's only temporarily. And we're gonna talk on the fact that how society has gotten us condition our minds, and it going on to generation that we can do this. It's all about we is selfish. We are selfish, a selfish nation. We train our kids up. Anything you put your mind to, you can do it. That's not totally true. It's true in the natural, because it's only temporarily. You might achieve all these goals that you done planted in your head or in your kids' head. They might achieve all them goals, but you got an empty vessel there, because you're not filled unless you're filled. And you're not filled unless you're filled with the Holy Spirit. You're not filled if you don't have God first, because everything is temporarily and it's not your source. We need to go back to this root of thing. Everything has a root, and this is the root of things. God's way, and not society way, not Nimrod damn way. It's not gonna happen. That's why the world is in the shape that it's in today, because we got our eyes on people, things, and money, material. We want. We want so much as a natural thing, and we never get enough. No matter what, we never get enough. Why? Because we are under the law of Nimrod now. Everything got to be numbered. It's got to have a signature. It's everything. But when God bless you, it's a good thing. It's the only way that you're really blessed, because he gave us two hands, he gave us a brain, and he said bring a child up in the way they should come. And now we should train our children up to be men and men of God. Train them how to build a house so they can have a house for themselves, that they ain't got to pay rent to no man and be under bondage all of their life, end up with blood pressure. But they telling them that they can do it. You can plan this and go to college and you'll be all right. You're not all right, because you're not filled. Trust me, you're not filled. You got to be filled and have some kind of power and moral. You got to, and then another thing too, they tell you that, well, if that don't work for you, let's get them into one of these programs. They got all kind of programs for you. That's the city. That's the tower that Nimrod now built. It's still bondage. You're still in bondage. Because when you go there, nothing is free. Rehab, churches. A lot of churches won't buildings. A lot of churches won't members. Why? I don't know. Weight loss. They put all these restaurants. And then people gain weight and can't lose weight to mess their health up. Weight loss, doctor office. Homeless people, you need somewhere to live. Rent. Government was built to stress you out because it was a selfish intention. They were selfish when they said, let us build us.